love for the game. Got love for the.
All right, here we go. Dating women over 40 TikTok compilation. Now, I ain't got no TikTok. I try to stay off of that. I don't have a Twitter. I ain't got an Instagram. So I've been watching some content creators react to a lot of women going on TikTok, sharing their stories about dating in their 40s. So, I feel like YouTube has every source of content out there. So here we are. All right, we're gonna be reacting to I think a few wild things that are happening to women over 40 in the dating market. Hey, hold on. Here's another thing. One thing I don't understand that human beings do, they like if they crying, they bring it to social media and really be crying on camera. Like, y'all not ashamed? Y'all don't feel weird doing that? But this person wrote a lengthy whatever. We're gonna read it. I had a date tonight with a guy that I was really excited about. We had great chemistry and solid conversation. He was putting in the effort. I looked and felt good. And while I appreciate that he was honest, it still crushed me to be told that after seeing me in person, I am not what he hoped. I'm gonna tell you something, dog. Beauty doesn't last forever. The one thing you should aim to be in this life is a genuine human being with great intentions. Because if you don't have that and you're solely relying on your beauty, life will humble you. The older you get in life, the less patience people have for you. So if you're a 40-year-old dude and you ain't got your stuff together, women gonna let you know off rip, like, you 40, you need to get your shit together. They're not gonna sugarcoat it. If you're a 40-year-old woman and you ain't got your shit together, dudes will let you know. Ew. Like, they're not sparing nobody, bro. Nobody's sparing nobody once you get up in age. You either got it or you don't. Cringe. You crying on camera? You're a weirdo, bro. When you crying and you're recording it, bro, that shit is so cringe. Ain't nobody trying to hear or see that. You're grown. You in your 40s. This is embarrassing. She boohoo crying, gang.
Okay, so I'm recently divorced, and I said, you know what? Let me just try this whole dating thing. So I met this guy.
I don't like that, bro. If this dude did not do anything like diabolic, like, you're not supposed to be throwing people pictures up there. Like, that's why I don't like when folks come on the internet to expose some certain parts of their lives, because, like, why you put that man whole picture out there? Like, you over 40, bro. You doxing this man. Like, I dated this man. You show his whole. You can get in trouble for that.
Like, okay, all right, keep on. He asked me for my number. I'm like, okay, you can have it. So he texts me and he says, hello, I'm Corey. That is not how you spell Corey. So I say, well, let's video chat and see if you really are Corey. So he tries to call me, voice call. I said, no, video chat, please. I have Duo because he doesn't have an iPhone.
That booty chin
So he
crazy.
says to me, this is what he says because I don't talk like this.
Oh shit. Hey. All right. Cuz we're talking crazy. All right. So what when you talk crazy to people and then you're moving despicable in the world, okay. I still wouldn't have used the picture. I still think using the picture was too far. Like, I wouldn't have put Cuz picture up there, but he said love. Hey, watch out for dudes that use the word love. Real men don't talk like that. That shit's off to me. Cuz said, love, I'm at work. You must work at McDonald's. Get the off my line. Get life, you block. Go die. What is going on with humanity? He really just spazzed like, go die? That's OD. If you look like that, but so and so not interested. I
Wants
mean,
me to die because I asked him to video chat.
That's
I'm
crazy.
like, if you look like that and talk like that, I'm not interested anyway. I like a man with class, okay? So
She
I
kept
have a
it
question for
she kept it
all the
mature.
guys out there.
Before this individual starts talking, guys, be wary of women in their 40s that kind of dress like they alternative punk rock type of that shit is weird. If you grown, please come with a mature essence and an aura about yourself. And a lot of the times before I start listening to folks when I'm reacting to stuff, I be wrong, but I had to get that out. Why you over 40, you in your 40s dressing like this, and then you got a question. Go dress your age and then come back with the question. Then I can acquiesce to the question that you got. But as of right now, I don't want you to ask me nothing. Dressing like a man.
I am in my 30s and I am.
Damn! She in her 30s? I thought this was a TikTok for women over 40. Nonetheless, ma'am, you in your 30s, but you look every bit of 45. 43.
Interested in dating older men that are in their 40s and 50s. And
dressing like that?
Throughout my dating experience, I've been wanting to ask this question. Is there anything about dating or considering dating a woman that is younger than you that gives you pause or reservations about it? And
I don't like when folks are in their 30s and they say they want to like date older and they use talking points like what reservations would you have for dating a younger woman? Listen, I know 40 and 50 is older than 30s, but stop referring to yourself as a younger woman. In that context, it makes sense, but if you in your 30s, you're not a young woman. You're a grown adult. I hate hearing that attached to ages like 30s and 40s. Because you'll have a 40-year-old woman who says she wants to date 60 or 50-year-old men and go, I got a question for the 60 and 50-year-olds. What reservations do you have for dating younger women? While she's in her 40s. She's only using a younger woman tagline because the dudes she's talking to is 50 and 60. That's like a catch-22. That's a way for them to use the younger woman tagline. Stop doing that. If you're in your 30s, that younger woman, save that for the women in their 20s. Only a select few out here that when they hit 30, they ain't hit no wall. But the majority of y'all hit y'all wall when y'all in y'all 30s. So stop using that younger woman tagline. That shit just threw me for a loop.
I just, I think I can answer some of your questions and maybe
dress like a grown woman.
Some feedback.
Start with that.
Why maybe your worries and fears are not valid here.
So I thought at 43 years old, I was past the point of getting stood up for dates. But, ladies and gentlemen, Steve from Bumble is here to teach me a motherfucking lesson.
This makes so much sense. You're 43 and you got stood up for a date, right? And you just hurling curse words out of your mouth. I don't know why some women don't actually realize, bro, stop having a foul mouth all the time. That shit is so unattractive, bro. Like, us as human beings, we curse. But if you got a sailor mouth, ain't no dude gonna want to deal with you. You probably got like this fake aggressive vibe about you or this slick vibe about you. And he probably seen through the messages and he's like, you know what? Juice ain't worth the squeeze. So that's probably why you got stood up. And by your first sentence alone, I'm already seeing what, like, you probably not even like a humble feminine woman, bro. You talking like a sailor. You talk like one of my uncles.
This is the guy that puts on his profile he's looking for high quality women. Does Steve not know that high quality women are busy motherfuckers? And I've just traveled to...
It don't matter how high quality you are. If you talk like this, Her energy is so ass too. Like, it's something about a woman talking shit and just being slick in nature that shit is a turn off. Do you have a nurturing spirit or a nurturing side to you? Like, you sound like one of the guys.
South Manchester to try and meet this cunt, and he's not done the decency of sending me a.
Bro, whoa. So far, she's been hurling expletives and the word, that C word, I'm knowing over there where they from, that's a really disrespectful word. We ain't even 20 seconds in to her venting.
Fucking goddamn text. Fuck you, Steve from Bumble. Fuck you.
Challenges of dating when you're
Okay. Beautiful black sister. But you 40 with your belly button out. Probably your upper back exposed in this fit. I just want to get to a point where we're just mature, bro. Like, why is there a 40-year-old woman just out? And judging from, I might be wrong, but by the looks of it, she probably got a bunda in the back, if I had to guess. And you just out here showing the goodies like this? Let me listen before I just start ranting. I ain't even hear what she had to say yet.
in your 40s. Now, if you're anything like the typical 40-year-old who has gone through midlife crisis or whatever your situation is, where you figured out the person that met your checklist really didn't meet the essential needs that you needed in a marriage and a relationship. Now,
And if you do have children, that's another thing y'all need to take into account. You in your 40s with children and you walk around here dressed like this, your son gonna have to fight a lot of his homies for some of the things they about to say about you, Miss Johnson. You know what I'm saying?
you're in your 40s and you finally found yourself, or you're learning to find yourself and you're loving yourself, and you got options, right? Those options include you can date the father or the son.
You're at a child event. You're at a kids event. This shit is so embarrassing. Like, I just started putting two and two together because I was just focused on she got that bunda in the back. That's what I was focused on. But then I started putting two and two together. I started hearing sounds in the back. It looks like she's at a soccer match. And you're in a random space of the field with your phone up, posing, and walking around making a video out in public, serving body and everything, just in a distant area of the grass, and don't care who's watching you with the phone in the air. Y'all are moms, bro. When the fuck y'all gonna act like it?
Or the daughter, right? However, now we need to dig deep and figure out what didn't work in our past in order to make a better decision about today. There's many of us in our 40s who we're content where we are. We're not rushing to get in a relationship. And I talked about that in my previous post with people dealing with friends who.
Hey, you being in your 40s and not rushing to get in a relationship, you ain't got much time left. Matter of fact, that's when it's over with. That's when it's over with. If you in your 40s and you not married, you don't have kids, and you don't even got a significant other, you were listening to the wrong advice. I'm telling you this right now. We are human beings. We're not made to be alone, gang. Them eggs start drying up and that baby making factory start, you know what I'm saying, start having some defects, and menopause start playing a role later on in life. Like, this shit ain't no fucking game. Y'all on social media with y'all belly button out serving body. Y'all gonna learn the hard way, bro.
High class women who, they're used to being in a job where they're constantly busy. And so they prefer the man that is not in the house. We meet up and what have you and do our thing and then go about your business.
I find it funny that she thinks a high class woman is somebody who works a lot. That alone lets me know this woman is lost. You think a high class woman is somebody that works a lot at her job? Y'all just took morals and how you carry yourself and how genuine you are as a person out of high class, huh? First thing you mentioned about a high class woman is her working a lot. at her job. Yeah, some of y'all fried.
Business, and you have those who actually do want a relationship and they're searching for Mr. Right because they're tired of going through dating apps and getting fake people and being catfish, and then people looking good on paper, but then in person they're actually crazy and narcissistic. So what are the questions that we
Crazy and narcissistic. Is it narcissistic or narcissistic? Bro, I be getting secondhand embarrassment. Crazy and narcissistic. Let's run that back.
catfish, and then people looking good on paper, but then in person they're actually crazy and narcissistic. So, what are the questions that we should be asking? Well, I think it's very important, first of all, before you go looking to get in a relationship with somebody else, take this time to actually evaluate yourself. Worry about loving yourself first. Figure out what your challenges, your weaknesses are, and what are your strengths. What are you bringing to the table if you are bringing something to the table? And then if you know your challenges and weakness or whatever, then you can then look at somebody else and say, okay, how can we join together and benefit one another?
Women over 40, your challenges and weaknesses when you step into the dating scene is that you did not settle down with the right man in your prime. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. If you think a dude who is 32 years old is going to tolerate a woman who's 31 with some problems versus a woman who's 28, you're sadly mistaken. Yeah, that 30 is, that shit ain't no joke. And what's funny is when y'all 25, 24, 23, living your life, doing your thing, you really don't think 30 is going to come that fast. And then one day you wake up, bam, 30. That's when shit starts to get real, when you hit 30. But these are women in their 40s. She's in her 40s talking like this. You're 40 years old and you still don't know your problems and challenges that you have within yourself in order to make a relationship successful or conducive. Y'all better pay attention to the signs, boy.
You should look at a relationship like a business, okay? In my mind, sex will fade. You will, I mean, there's still old people getting it down, you know what I'm saying? But that kind of gets old over time. You got to have something else that's more valuable that's going to keep you there. Your mentality, how you think about life, what your spiritual beliefs are, child raising philosophies, you know, what you think about politics and life in general, it makes a big difference in your relationship. And so we cut the chase and we don't end up being friends before being romantic partners. And I think that's where
I'll agree with some of the things she said. You got to make sure y'all on the same wavelength as far as like being equally yoked and mentally on the same page. I agree with that part. Where I stop at is that friend shit. Listen, y'all, you was not your girlfriend, bro. We're not fucking friends. Because first of all, I see how you treat your friends. You be treating your friends like shit. So if you think me and you, me being a man and you being a woman, and we're coming together in a relationship, you think I want to be your friend? No, I don't want, like, I've heard this so many times, like, yeah, I'm just looking for somebody that I could have a partner in, be a friend and my lover, my confidant, all in one. Y'all are living in this world of delusion. I am not your fucking friend. I don't want to watch Pop the fucking Balloon with you. I don't want to have gossip time about why your homegirls ain't and I definitely don't want to go to the salon with you and get my nails and feet done. I ain't doing none of that. I'm a man. All right. I'm trying to be your husband. All right. I'm trying to be the provider in our union. I'm not trying to be your fucking friend. If there's anything that history and life taught me growing up, is a lot of women can't have friends, bro. They too catty. So the one thing that I've seen you struggle and have problems with, you want me to assume that role with you, be your friend? I'm not your fucking friend. Go play with your friends. Don't play with me. I ain't your friend, shorty. But nonetheless, dating women over 40 TikTok compilation. Man, this was very entertaining, but it also was a headache. Y'all got to get y'all stuff together, man.
Growing up, I was doing all kinds of shit. Too many problems in my life I was trying to fix. Unaware, can't really explain if I was cognizant. I was more concerned with which block I was trying to spin.